Good evening, everyone. As she said, my name is Frank Napolitano. Just to make sure it's clear, I am not related to the woman that thinks we are all terrorists because we're right-wing extremists. No relationship to Janet. And I actually wanted to start off tonight by just having, maybe if we could have a round of applause for Nancy Pelosi's retirement. Recently, I was giving some thought to what she's probably going to do now in her retirement, and I kind of picture her at maybe a Barnes and Noble in San Francisco, trying to peddle her book. She'll have all sorts of time now to go on book tour, and I picture somebody asking her, Nancy, what's in the book? And she'll tell them, if you want to know what's in the book, you're going to have to buy the book. So that being said, we have some victories behind us, but as we've heard tonight, our work has really just begun, and there's a number of things we can do as we move forward. I want to talk about a number of things. I guess first we should not forget what brought us here, but we also can't let the people know why we're here and let them know that we are here. So our congressmen that are in office now, our state representatives, our state senators, we need to remind them constantly that we are here. You need to have access to them. If you don't know their phone number, it's easy to get. Find it on the website, contact them, send them emails. Follow the issues as we move forward. The other thing I want to talk about is local offices, local elections. I myself am a village trustee in the village of Bartlett, and I've been there for about 2 years now. So I've been involved in village government about the same amount of time I've been involved in the Tea Party. I guess my passion for this started right at the same time. And there's about 1,300 municipalities in the state of Illinois. They all seem to have their election in the odd year, 2011. So as we're now approaching that, I want to talk about some of the reasons why we should care about local offices, municipal elections, park districts, school boards. They make a bigger impact on our lives than I think a lot of people realize. They deal with a lot of different issues that we're all passionate about from a congressional standpoint or from a Senate standpoint or from a Springfield standpoint. We're passionate about all these things, but a lot of times the municipalities deal with those too. Take, for instance, constitutionality of different things. Think about freedom of speech. A number of cities have passed ordinances, outlawing how big your sign can be, your campaign signs, how many you're allowed to put up in your own yard. That's a violation of freedom of speech. But yet, these local offices have made policies, these local village boards and city councilmen have passed these ordinances violating our freedom of speech. Take for instance the Second Amendment. Obviously, we all know about what the city of Chicago did, right? They outlawed handguns. You can't own a handgun, but it says so in the Constitution that you have a right to keep and bear arms. But Mayor Daley and his cronies decided not here. The city of Evanston did it too. It's not just the city of Chicago. That one was in the news a lot because it got to the Supreme Court. And luckily, the Supreme Court ruled that yes, it says so in the Constitution, and yes, that extends to municipalities. They can't make those laws either. But what a waste of time and taxpayer dollars that had to go there. I mean, why are they making these laws that violate our constitutional rights? So if you're passionate about your constitutional rights, I would suggest looking at either running for local office or getting behind candidates who are running for local office that understand your constitutional rights. Take, for instance, fiscal issues. Right? We know the state of Illinois is in disarray. We know the city of Chicago is in disarray financially. We know the country's in disarray financially. But local municipalities deal with these same issues. Look at your tax bill and see where your tax dollars go. If you live in DuPage, you would have gotten them months ago. But if you live in Cook County, you haven't gotten them yet because they waited until after the election. But that being said, look at your tax bill. Look at all these taxing bodies that are getting your money. And do you think they're spending it in the best interests of you? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Some do better than others. In the village of Bartlett, we had a business come before us last year that wanted a $50,000 taxpayer bailout. Now, it's not $50 billion, but this is a local municipal government's, these are taxpayer dollars from a local area. Now, they didn't get it. I voted against it. What they ended up getting was $10,000. I voted against that too, but my fellow board members approved the $10,000 taxpayer bailout for a local business. This is a $15 million a year business. I don't know how $10,000 was going to keep them in business, but that's what they got everybody convinced. They came before us again the following year, and through some help from the Tea Party group, the Tri-Counties, and other conservative groups, we really helped fight that. And it died the second year. It failed the second year. This company didn't get that taxpayer bailout the second year. But if not for the Tea Party, they might have. Thank you. It's things like that, fiscal responsibility, that we still need in local government. We still need that in schools. Look at all the problems in the school governments. Those school boards are up for election in April. Find somebody you support or run for one of these local offices. Another thing, when we have Anna Mandziewski here tonight, he talked about transparency. Hanover Township, not long ago, had somebody get arrested, and she was recently arrested. It happened about 2 years ago. What she was doing, she was writing checks, and the board was approving them at their meeting because they really weren't looking at the checks they were approving, apparently, and the supervisor of the township was signing them. These were checks to pay her daughter's orthodontist bill and pay credit card bills, and these bills were getting paid. They didn't have transparency. If they had transparency, it would have been found a lot sooner. Luckily, it was found. She's fired. She's since been arrested. But had they had transparency sooner, this might not have happened to begin with. Now, they are taking advantage of some transparencies in Hanover Township, but these are problems that face municipalities. These sound just like the same issues that are facing Springfield and Washington. But here they are in our local office, and unfortunately, not a lot of people pay attention to these local elections. They happen on odd years, probably by design of Mayor Daley or his father, because they like to have low turnout and control the turnout.
Absolutely.
So, and think about how much money that wastes. I mean, you're going to go set up all those polling places again, hire all these election judges again, do all this counting again, have this election board to handle all this stuff in an odd year. Other states, other cities across the country do it in even years, like the rest of their elections. The other thing that municipalities can do, on a positive note or a negative note, is they can do resolutions, right? A board can pass or adopt a resolution. Think about what the city of Chicago did. Think about what Los Angeles did when it came to the immigration law in Arizona, right? So they're going to boycott it. They're going to come out and they're going to say, well, we're going to boycott it. Well, A, it's Arizona. It should be none of their business, right? But the big thing is they passed a resolution. You could also have a village pass a resolution supporting the immigration law. My state representative, Randy Ramey's here. I know he recently introduced a bill adopting in Illinois that same Arizona immigration law. And I hope to get the support of my fellow board members in Bartlett to pass a resolution encouraging the adoption of that law and the passage of that law. So these are things, again, resolutions you can pass. We did one last year when Governor Quinn was talking about his many, flaky ideas about the budget. One of his many ideas was to kind of pass the buck on municipalities to reduce substantially the portion municipalities got of that income tax. So the state collects their 3% income tax. He wanted to raise it many different ways. But he also wanted to reduce how much of that they give to the municipalities. That money goes to pave their roads, pay for your police, and all these other things. So if the state just passed a buck on that to the municipalities will either have to cut those things or raise your taxes. So we as a village board adopted and passed a resolution unanimously opposing that. A number of other cities did the same thing. A number of municipalities encouraged the passage of the Open the Books that Adam was certainly a key factor on. And so a number of municipalities can adopt resolutions that go on to Springfield and say, we as a village support this, pass this. Or, like I said, they can support things like banning or boycotting Arizona. And I guess the last thing I would talk about, the last example that I will talk about tonight is the ability, where is it? I forget which one it was. There was one more I remembered. Oh, personal responsibility. It just happened. So a village, a city, San Francisco, decided that they know best what's for you and your family and your children. They've banned Happy Meals. So a village board, a city council has decided that you as Americans don't